Now, it's my great pleasure. You guys need to get hyped up for this guy, though. He's gonna teach you some stuff right now, okay? Mr. Larry Long just traveled all the way out here from North Carolina. He's gonna teach us all about how to fire up our sales. Who's ready to get your sales fired up? Let's go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is this microphone on? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Come on, Scottsdale. WIPA Phoenix, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So as we wait to get the slides, I think our great tech team over there, I do want to say thank you to Eric, thank you to Nikki, greatly appreciate you. Thank you to WIPA Phoenix, I'm excited to be here. My name is Larry Long Jr., CEO, that's Chief Energy Officer of LLJR Enterprises. I don't know if you know this, but the energy in the room is electric, and I absolutely love it. Now, I've got a few questions for you. Question number one, why are you here? Why are you here? What's your intention for taking time, valuable time out of your day to be here? Networking, okay. Who do you want to meet? You. I said no one ever. You're making me blush. Who do you want to meet? Potential clients, okay. Who else? Vendors. Partnerships, I like that. Who else? Friends, yeah. Food, okay, I like that. Hey, I'm trying to cut down. What do you want to learn? How to grow your business? Oh. Huh? Can you say that again? I'm just messing with you. Communication. Someone said something over here. LinkedIn? What is LinkedIn? I'm just joking. Yeah, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn. So my encouragement for your intention, it's great that you have intentions, write it down. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Write down your specific intention of what you hope to get out of this event. You took time out of your day. You owe it to yourself. Write down your intention. 15 seconds. And as you write that down, if we don't meet your intention, please see Nikki. I'm just kidding. I'm hopeful to provide you with some information that's going to help you grow your business, grow your sales, connect even stronger with those relationships. Now speaking of relationships, I met with a sales guru from South Florida, Steve Noodleberg. And he shared with me, he said, hey, Larry, in my 30 years of selling, one thing that I learned is that the difference between contacts and contracts is the letter R. Can anyone share with me what you think that letter R might stand for? I don't know. Relationships, true, genuine relationships. Now, there's a saying that goes, it's not what you know, but it's ooh, in my Steve Harvey Family Feud voice, survey says, nah, it's not what you know, and it's not even who you know. It's who knows you. It's who likes you and who trusts you. I don't know if anyone watches the Shark Tank, but I know Mark Cuban, Damon John, they don't know who Larry Long Jr. is yet. They will. I'm on the radar. But essentially, who knows you, who likes you, who trusts you is really what makes things happen. So I'm here to talk about the power of relationships. And I could tell from the chatter that y'all are building relationships and there's power behind that. And I'll share with you in the last 48 hours, really 24 hours, I've experienced that here in Scottsdale, those relationships. So we're going to talk about how to elevate your sales, how to leverage LinkedIn to strengthen existing relationships, grow new relationships, and ultimately build your business in terms of dollars. Does that sound like a plan? Cool, let's rock and roll. I'm going to go quick, so make sure that you put your seatbelts on. I'm here to motivate, I'm here to inspire, but that comes and goes. My ultimate goal is to transform. Now you might be asking, what does that mean? It means that when you leave these doors, my hope is that you do something different. Because we've all been to conferences. I keep voracious notes where I write down great knowledge, but knowledge isn't action. So essentially, I'm here, hopefully, to inspire one person to take action. And I don't know who that one person is. Might be over there at the green table. Might be over there at the orange table, but there's someone in here that needs to hear this message right now to take their business to that next level. So let's rock and roll. I need your help. Let's fill in the blank. Help me out here. Both ways. Woo! Y'all are alive. We got a sharp group here. All right, don't. Oh, drink. Wow. It must have been that double shot of tequila. We don't want to drink and drive. But I think all of us have these devices. We don't want to. Yes, text and drive. Okay. Text and drive. I see what kind of party we're throwing here, Nick. All right, I need to mix in some of these. Yeah, some fruits and vegetables. Yeah, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What was your answer? A glass of wine. A glass of wine. Okay, I like how you flipped the script there. Don't talk to... Did someone say monsters? We don't want to talk to monsters, but we definitely don't want to talk to strangers. I'm about to head to the airport after this. See something? Yeah, so we know what we're supposed to be doing, but knowing isn't always doing. I met with my doctor. He said, hey, Larry, you got high blood pressure. You really need to lose some weight. I said, I agree. He said, you need to cut down on fried foods. I said, hey, doc, you don't understand my relationship with fried chicken. I said, hey, doc, do you know what time it is? He said, well, Larry, it's 9:17. I said, no, doc, you don't know what time it is. It is bow time. Is anyone familiar with Bojangles? Anyone been to the South? Yeah, we rock with, yeah, I see you over there. We rock with Bojack. I said, Doc, it's bow time. He said, well, if you want to see your daughter, and y'all saw the picture of my daughter, if you want to walk her down that aisle, you need to cut down on the fried chicken. I said, oh, you're killing me. So my point is, knowing isn't always doing. Let's go ahead and take some action now. Y'all can read this quote right here. I'm going to give y'all the Larry Long Jr. remix. And this is from the great Tony Robbins, but what I found is the most successful people ask the toughest questions. And we talked about that here when we were talking about boundaries, when we were talking about figuring out who's the actual decision maker. So to be successful, I encourage you to ask the tough questions so that you can get the best answers. Now, my question to you is, what questions are you asking of yourself, of your coworkers and your colleagues, of your prospects, your clients, those vendors, your partners? Are you asking those tough questions, or are you giving those softball questions, the ones that make us feel good? Sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone if we really want to make sure that we grow and we take it to that next level. Who's there? Who's there? A little bit louder for the people in the back. Opportunity is knocking. Eric and I talked about this earlier. Opportunity is knocking for each and every one of us. But are you ready? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Are you ready? Yes. I hear you talking, but you ain't saying nothing. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, your actions speak so loud. I'll talk about that in a little bit. If you're all in, you're committed, your actions will be able to tell me. You don't need to tell me, yeah, I'm ready, Larry. I'm going to see it by the way that you move and that you shake in your business. So who is Larry Long Jr.? You can check me out on LinkedIn. I'm the proud father to Trey and Lucia. Those are my babies. I'm the proud husband to Maria. My wife is from Argentina. I'm the proud son to Desiree. You'll hear about her later. And I'm the proud brother to Tiffany Nicole Long. I'm also a friend of all. Those are some of my friends from MPI, Meeting Professionals International. I was with the Carolinas chapter in Myrtle Beach last week. Now, professionally, who am I? I played baseball at University of Maryland, go Terps. I had a career in working at Accenture, doing IT consulting. Had a career, 16 years doing software sales. And now, I know you won't believe this, I used to get sent to detention in elementary, middle, and high school for talking. You know where I'm going. Now I get paid to speak and to serve. I pinch myself each and every day. I'm living my dream. I'm super excited to be here with y'all. And like I said, I'm hopeful one thing that I said, one thing that I share will help you specifically in your business. Now, enough about me. This is about you. And I need your help. When you think about this phrase, I am blank, how do you fill in the blank? I am. Great? I am a badass. Okay, I like that. What makes you a badass?
I feel like just owning a business, being driven, getting out there, like that just makes you so much powerful.
I love it. Great, badass. What else? I am successful. You didn't say that like you believed it. You're like, oh, successful. I am. I need one more. Confident. I like that. Now, when I was younger, I moved around. Alabama, Illinois, Nebraska, Pennsylvania. Kids can be cruel. So a lot of times I am not confident. I don't believe in myself when I was younger. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I'm 46 years old. I still have those voices that tell me the story of, Larry, you don't belong standing in front of WIPA. Who do you think you are traveling around the world speaking to people? Your story doesn't mean anything. It's that voice, that story. Now, thankfully, I had a praying mom. And every night we would say our prayers, and every night she used to make me stand in the middle of the room. And 10 times I had to say these words. I am, help me out, I am, somebody. A little bit louder, I am. Somebody. It is absolutely powerful when you tell yourself that story. Now, I wrote a book called Jolt. In chapter number 1, we talk about what story are you telling yourself? We narrate a story each and every day, whether we're successful, whether we're great, whether we're badass, or the story of whether we're not worthy. Show of hands, does anyone work with a coach? Oh, is my microphone on? Anyone work with a coach? I see 2 hands, 3 hands, 4 hands, thank you, 5 hands. No judgment, but I would strongly encourage you to work with a coach. If you've ever played team sports before, you had a coach that helped to lead you, to guide you, provide you with a different perspective to take your game to the next level. As professionals, as entrepreneurs, how can you be the best if you're not working with someone to challenge you to take it to that next level? I see a lot of heads that are shaking, but what are you doing? I've got one more fill in the blank. Best, yeah, and I got to give a shout out to Desiree Long. This is my mom. After we get past here, no, that's not my mom right there. Close enough. But that's my beautiful mom right there. Thank you. And there's a saying that she shared with me when I was younger that she still continues to share with me. And she calls me Little Larry. She says, Little Larry, your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. Think of how powerful that is. It's not what you say, but it's what you yeah, so what are you doing in your business to take it to that next level? Especially when it comes to sales, especially when it comes to LinkedIn. Now, is it great to have sales? Yes. Is it great to have sales? That's what we're talking about, right? Okay, now my belief is, and I shared this before, is that sales starts with relationships. So I want to know when the music drops, hopefully the music will drop, I want you to turn and talk with your neighbors to discuss the ideas and the actions that you associate when you think about your understanding of relationships. When you think about relationships, what comes to mind? Let's turn and talk right now. Let's roll. Say food?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it, like for me, it's a good way to kind of gauge like where I'm at with somebody. It's like, can I sit down and eat with them? And if the answer is no, I can't sit down and eat with them. I don't know that I have like an actual relationship.
I like that. All right, I love the great conversation. Love the great conversation. We're going to start with one of my favorite numbers, number 3, table number 3. What comes to mind when you think about relationships?
That we need feedback.
Need feedback?
Out, otherwise you can't take the conversation to the next place.
Okay, tell me more. Need feedback.
Feedback that you're going in the right direction from that other person and back again.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead and give her a round of applause. Here goes a copy of my book. Now, over here at the green table, we heard I heard one response about relationships that I love. If you don't mind sharing, when you think about relationships, what do you think about?
Food.
Food? Food? What you talking about, Willis? Tell me more.
I mean, if I have a relationship with somebody, I can share a meal with them and enjoy it. If you don't have a relationship with somebody, or if I don't have a relationship with somebody, or rather, if I can't sit down and eat food with them, maybe I don't have a relationship.
About breaking bread. Give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. I want you to really think about and be intentional about relationships. My belief is that sales are great, but sales aren't great if we don't have relationships. What are we doing? And I know that we talked about this in our roundabout, the transactional nature, where we're chasing the dollars, we're chasing the money. I get it. We got to keep the lights on, but why are we doing what we're doing? Are we in it to win it so we can serve others, or are we just looking to get that bottom line? That is the question. Your actions will tell so much about why you're really in it. If you don't mind closing, can you close out that bottom? I'm sorry. Pick up the kids. I am carpool dad. Thankfully, my career allows me to drop off my kids when I'm in town, pick them up, which I absolutely love. So yes, it's great to have sales, but not without relationships. Now let's get into sales. When we talk about sales, and there we go, relationships. This was yesterday on the golf course. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if Eric shared with you or Nikki shared with you. Tiger Woods is my cousin. Did they share that? Long lost cousin. I'm Larry, hit it in the woods. I appreciate the courtesy chuckles. Yeah. He's not my cousin. We do look alike a little bit. Caucasian, close enough. But essentially, that was at Talking Stick in 104-degree weather yesterday. I've been told that I'm crazy. I was just trying to work on my tan. And then last night, we went to Olive and Ivy in Old Town. And 9 of my friends came out. Think about those relationships. Some of my professional speaker friends. Some of my software sales friends. Some friends that I didn't even know that crashed the party. We can all be friends. But what are you doing to intentionally build those relationships? Now, will any business come from that meeting? I don't know. And I don't really care. But I know that we had great conversation. We got to know each other. And I am a gambling man. You didn't see me over at the casino. Always bet on black. But chances are there's going to be business that comes not just to me, but others that took the time to come out. We had folks that drove, I'm not even sure, Tempe? Drove in from Tempe, others that drove in 40 minutes to go ahead and fellowship, to talk with each other, support each other. It was absolutely amazing. And I'm excited to be here in your midst because I can just feel the connection. I can feel the community. And my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with these relationships? Once you leave these doors, how do you stay connected to your group right here? I think the opportunity is knocking via LinkedIn, which we'll talk about. Sales. Someone tell me, definition of sales. What is sales to you? Helping others find a solution. I hear some others. What is sales? Creating value. I like that. One more. What's sales to you? Success. Tell me more. Success. Sales is success.
I mean, you make a sale, that means money coming in, and you're able to do what your business is all about.
I like that. I appreciate you sharing that. I've got 2 definitions, and y'all are all right in however you define sales. Definition 1 for me, it's a transfer of energy. You don't have to have energy like me. In the words of the great philosopher J.J. Walker, dynamite, that's my energy. But you better have some sort of juice, some sort of gumption. You better believe in your product, your solution, that it solves a problem. Number 2, does anyone recognize the name Patty Stanger? Who is she? Who's Patty Stanger? Am I the only one who watches Bravo? The millionaire matchmaker. My second definition of sales is we're playing matchmaker. We're matching whatever we have. It could be a product, could be a service, a thought, an idea with someone else's needs, their wants, their desires, their challenges, their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, their problems. How do we understand what those are? How do we get there? What's one way to understand what people need, what they want, what they desire, what they hope for? Say that again. Talk to them with Questions. So many times we want to get in there and we want to talk about how great our services are. Oh, I'm the greatest. No one cares. They care about themselves. How do you make sure that you care about them? How are you asking the right questions? I'm sorry, did someone say? Be present. Be at where your feet at. We all have these devices, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm addicted to that device. I'll share a story with you a little bit later. The power of presence. Talk to me about it.
Just being there to listen, take it all in. You'll get more information from it, more of the feedback, and giving them your all.
Eye contact, leaning in, showing that you're interested. The little things are really the big things. I co-authored a book, and my chapter was called The Little Things Are Really the Big Things. I wanted it to be called The Little Things Are Really the Big Things. They said, nah, you can't talk like that in our book. If you want to do that, write your own book. I said, okay, watch me. And that's when Joel came out. But a lot of times people think that selling is about talking. It's not about talking. We've all been blessed, for the most part, with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Why is that? Should we be listening 2 times more than we're talking? Yeah, and that's coming from the man with the microphone. Shh. Listen. You might learn something from those bridezillas, those groomzillas. Can you feel me? Hey, I thought it was a myth, but they shared with me, no, they really exist. They're not extinct. Yeah, I guess they're working on it. This is a me monster. I've worked with a lot of sales professionals, and all they care about is me, 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 me. Now, we got to keep the lights on, but there's a book out there by Bob Berg called The Go-Giver. I like working with a go-getter, someone who's aggressively going out there and getting it, but I really love working with a go-giver. Are you a go-giver? Are you proactively, intentionally, with purpose, looking for opportunities to give, to serve, to help someone else get to where they want to get to? That is the question. Quick exercise. God forbid you get in a car accident, you get rear-ended. Outside of your immediate family, who do you call? What's the person that you call? Jake from State Farm. There's always one in the crowd. I love it. I love it. Who do you call? 911? No, what person? If you were to get in an accident, you're stranded on the side of the road, what person do you call? Anyone care to share that name? No, outside of your immediate family. Your assistant? Okay, my assistant.
My girlfriend, Cabrina.
Why do you call Cabrina?
Because I love her.
You love her?
Love her.
And it sounds like she loves you.
She does.
Yeah, is she going to be there for you?
She sure will.
Yeah, you can count on her.
Absolutely.
I love it. I call Corey Richardson. And most people were like, hold up, didn't Corey fire you on March 26, 2021? He did. He did. But that's my homeboy. I know that he's going to be there. He would drop anything for me. He would be there to support me. His say-do ratio is sky high. He says he's going to be there. He's going to be there. My question for you, can I call you? Can your prospects call you? One of my reps, Charlie Hobbs, said, Larry, that's unrealistic to expect that our prospects would be in an accident and would call us. And I said, hey, you write your own story. I don't think that's unrealistic. I'm trying to build my relationships where folks know that if they're ever in a pinch, you can call me and I'm going to be there. Is that powerful or what? Are you building those kinds of bonds, or at least working towards building those kinds of bonds? Or is it just a transaction? Hey, holla at me, we're gonna do the event and then chuck up the deuces. Peace out, I'm out. If that's how you roll, do you, boo-boo? But that's not how I get down. I don't know about y'all, but I get 91% of my business from referrals and from inbounds on LinkedIn, which we'll talk about. The opportunity is knocking. Now, I'm not just gonna share this with you and not give you something that you can actually do. Does anyone in here do the 3-minute challenge? Anyone do the 3-minute challenge? No? No? Does anyone know what the 3-minute challenge is? Nah, me neither, I'm just messing. So the 3-minute challenge, I know we're all busy. If you look at your schedule, I'm sure you're in back-to-back meetings. You've got stuff just lined up for each and every day. This right here has the opportunity to change not just your life, but other people's lives. I've seen it in action. Here goes the 3-minute challenge. Every weekday, go ahead and schedule 3 minutes in your calendar. All I'm asking for is 3 minutes. What I need you to do is I need you to go into your Rolodex. I know some of you are like, hold up, why is he talking about that fancy watch? Nah, the Rolodex, essentially the contacts in your contact list. And I need you to find one person that you haven't been in touch with. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 3 months, it could be 3 years, and some of y'all haven't even been alive this long. It could be 3 decades. But all I want you to do is reach out and surprise and delight them. Now, what would that look like? If Eric was my 3-minute challenge, I would go to my best friend Google. It's pretty easy. And I would type in Puerto Vallarta. I can't even spell Puerto Vallarta, but I'm going to find it. Look at the smile on Eric's face. Just that little gesture that shows that I put some thought into it. Is that right, Eric? We talked about Puerto Vallarta. And we talked about the area up the north. I sent the message to my wife, we're going to be going there. I'm going to send you a selfie from the beach there and say thank you. But it's those little things that you can do each and every day. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do the 15-minute challenge. I'm an overachiever. Every day, I reach out to 5 people. And generally, it looks like this. It's a LinkedIn video. Anyone in this room received a LinkedIn video from Larry Long Jr.? How did it make you feel? Just be honest.
Excited to meet you and see you.
Wow, that's powerful. I love it when prospects say, I'm excited to meet you and see you. DJ, you got a video message from Larry Long Jr.? How did it make you feel?
It was a nice personal touch, and you're here to see a big group of people, and it made me feel like, wow, he noticed me.
Yeah.
That personal touch was
People like to feel seen,
Right.
heard, loved. Come on now. Yeah. What are you doing to make people feel seen, loved, and heard? Because we all know this. I'm not spilling rocket science. We know this, but oftentimes knowing isn't doing. So what you gonna do? The 3-minute challenge, you can do it right now. I'll give you a story. I spoke to the Moore County Chamber last fall. That's where Pinehurst is. There was a young lady, when I got done, she came up in tears. She had tears in her eyes. She said, Larry, I reached out to my mentor. She's now retired. And I just told her the impact that she had on my career, the impact that she had on me professionally, and the impact she had on me personally. Her mentor sent a message back and said, you don't know how badly I needed to hear that from you today. Tell me that's not powerful. Who will you reach out to? I see a lot of heads shaking, but I'm going to tell you how this goes down, because I can count on one hand and 3 fingers how many people actually follow through on it. You're going to leave, and then life be lifing. It's not in your calendar, and you're like, I have no idea what the 3-minute challenge is. The great Maya Angelou says it best. People will forget what you said. Talk is cheap. They'll even forget what you did. Hold up, Larry. Didn't your mom say your actions speak so loud? She did, but I love what Maya says. People will never forget how you made them feel. And all it takes is that little touch, that little customization, that little message that's going to take your relationship and take your business to the next level. Are you all in? Or are you like the majority of folks out there that shake their head, write it down, and do nothing with it? It's kind of like my gym membership. I don't ever go to the gym, and I'm wondering where my 6-pack abs are. Larry, you're eating too much fried chicken. Why don't you come in the gym and do something? Move. It's not magic. I know that we're looking for that silver bullet, but there is no silver bullet. You got to just do it. I'm not sponsored by Nike yet, but you got to just do it. The epic qualities, I'll go through this real quick. When I used to hire folks for my team, I looked for them to have epic qualities. The E is entrepreneurial spirit. How many business owners? How many business owners? You own your own business, so you know you get out of it what you put into it. I need everyone on my team to have that entrepreneurial spirit. The P is preparation and planning. We're talking about sales. When was the last time you practiced your sales? I know that we pretty much have the same conversations. We get the same objections. Am I right or am I right? When was the last time that you practiced to make sure that you're bringing your best self? The I is that internal drive and desire. I don't know if y'all know the great Les Brown, but he talks about, are you hungry? And I can tell by the way that some of y'all are chomping down that you're really hungry. I can't wait to get to my chicken, but are you really hungry for success? We all want success. I used to own an indoor baseball and softball academy, and all the kids talked about, I want to be like you. I want to play baseball in college. No, you don't. That sounds good, but you're not willing to put in the effort and the work. The C, and I've got a lot of C's, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but the C I'm going to talk about right now is commitment. When you're committed, you move and you shake in a whole different way. And I know some of y'all can feel me. You've worked with folks that I call them pluggers. They're not committed. They're just there for a paycheck. Are you committed to being the best that you can possibly be? Anyone like music? Any music lovers? Yeah, anyone heard of this radio station? It's on the FM dial. It's not on Spotify. It's not on Pandora. Anyone familiar with the WIIFM? Anyone? Bueller? Hello? Nah? You better tune into this radio station. What's in it for me? That's the radio station that each and every one of your clients and your prospects is tuning into. They don't care about you. They care about what's in it for them. Are you making sure that you're answering that question each and every day? Now, I know some of y'all are like, why does he have a picture of doctors up there? Well, I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Sue me. I don't know. Essentially, doctors do what's called a SOAP note. Subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. So I don't know what your sales process is, but I encourage you to ask subjective questions. If you've ever been to a doctor, they say, hey, Larry, what brings you to us today? Oh, I've been coughing. Oh, I've been whatever. You guys are eating. You get the picture. But they dig in. How long has it been going on? Do you have family history? Anyone else been feeling that? Then they do the objective. They take that tongue depressor. They choke you out. They run the test. They do an assessment. And then they do a plan, a.k.a. a prescription. Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Are you surgical in your sales process? Are you asking those subjective questions? Are you asking the objective questions? Are you doing an assessment and then prescribing a plan that provides them with that match to their needs, their wants, their desires, their challenges, their hopes, their dreams, and their aspirations? We talked about being ready, being prepared. I love the quote that's up there by Ben Franklin. I don't know if there's any basketball fans in here. I'm not AI, but we are talking about practice. When do you work on your game? You can't just show up and expect to have success. I'm a big baseball fan. How do you make sure that you make the adjustments? In the game of baseball, the game of life, it's about adjusting. This is my Where's Waldo slide. What makes you different? How do you stand out from everyone else? I would imagine that there's probably other people that do exactly what you do. Is that right? Yeah, what makes you stand out where people say, there's something different about not just what you do, but how you do it. See, in a sea of black boxes, I don't want to be a black box. I want to be a purple trapezoid. And I know some of y'all are like, purple trapezoid? That's random. It is. Try saying the word trapezoid and not cracking a big old smile. If you can do it, you're better than me. I love that word trapezoid. I can't even spell it, but when I think about sales, I think about filling the funnel. I know that right now with an election year, sometimes it could be light. The prospects could be light. How do you fill that top of funnel? I mean, once you get them in, how do you convert? How do you make sure that you follow a process that drives to the close? I know in our discussion, someone had commented that they have a challenge, and I would call it an opportunity knocking at the door to ask for the order. Sometimes we just assume that people know that we want their business without asking. I think the great philosopher Mystical says it best. Show me what you're working with. You got to ask that question and make sure that they know that you want to earn their business. Anyone seen this movie, Glengarry Glen Ross? Yeah, Always Be. Ooh, I must have watched the remix. ABC, nah, Always Be Helping. Helping. Yeah, I don't drink coffee. Come on, Cletus. Yeah, always be helping is the perspective that we're going to try to follow. And let's make sure that we continue to plant the seeds. After you plant the seeds, and I don't have a green thumb, my wife does, you've got to water it, make sure it gets sunlight. Sometimes you got to roll up your sleeves and put down that funky fertilizer to make sure it grows. It's the same thing when we get to sales. Now, I know some of y'all are wondering about LinkedIn. We're going to get into LinkedIn, and then we'll open it up for questions. I think we've got 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, yeah. So with your sales process, there's so many different avenues that you can reach out to people, whether you're doing marketing, whether you're doing cold calls, warm calls, emails, social media, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. My specialty is around LinkedIn. And I believe that there's opportunity that's knocking at the door with LinkedIn. There's 600 million users out there. You're able to segment and identify those folks that are in your ICP, your ideal customer profile, right here in this area. But it's an untapped resource. I was looking at a bunch of y'all's LinkedIn profiles, if you even have one. And for those that do, the opportunity is knocking at the door. Now, I wouldn't come here and tell you the opportunity is knocking without giving you steps. So I'm going to go through these steps very quickly. Step number 1, you got to make sure that you have a game plan. What's your plan? Just like your intention for being here, what's your intention for being on LinkedIn? A lot of people looked at LinkedIn as the job site. Well, that's how it used to be. Now it's for developing relationships. It's for helping solve people's problems so that you can make a living. I know the more people that I help and serve, the better my business is, the better my bank account is. Step number 2, I encourage you to get in the conversation. There's people that are putting out content each and every day on LinkedIn. What does your profile look like? If you pull up your profile right now, what story is that going to tell me? I know that my profile says energy. It says busy. I've got a whole lot of stuff that's going on my LinkedIn profile. Do an audit and look at your profile and think of it from a potential client perspective. Number 3, it's getting in the conversation. Number 4, it's making your own conversation. So show of hands, is anyone putting out content, original content and thought leadership on LinkedIn today? I see one hand. Anyone else putting posts out, showing your expertise in whatever? I see 2, 3, 4. How many people are in here? I'm not good at math, but 90 people, and I see 4 hands that went up. The opportunity is out there for you to start your own conversation, for you to engage. I'll give y'all a quick trick of the trade. I put out content almost daily. And people get engaged, people put reactions on it, people put comments. That's all well and good, but that's not what drives my business. I look at the titles of the people that are engaging. Essentially, you're a warm lead. If you liked one of my posts, if you commented, you've given me the foot in the door for me to get in there. I'm going to send you a one-to-one video message, audio message to start the conversation about how we can partner together. That's the key right there. It's super easy. Now, does it require you to get out of your comfort zone? Of course. Of course. I think Mia Hamm said the greatest successes came just on the other side of stepping out of her comfort zone. What are you doing to step out of your comfort zone? If you don't take anything away from today, I encourage you. If you're on LinkedIn, start sending video. People like to buy from people they know, like, and trust. When they can see you on video, they can feel your personality. They can tell whether you're really sincere. If you're driving, you can do an audio. I don't want you to be on video while you're driving. There's a thing called GIFs. My wife tells me I'm crazy, and I am, but I love sending funny GIFs. They make me laugh. Hopefully they make the person on the other side laugh as well. So in wrapping, before we get into questions, I do want to encourage you to make sure you leverage LinkedIn. It requires work. It requires you taking action. But ultimately, I also want to make sure that you are your best self. I leverage LinkedIn as my brag book. Are reviews and recommendations important in your industry? Yeah. I think I have 306 recommendations on LinkedIn. When meeting planners ask me, why should I hire you? I don't know. I work for the company. It's me, myself, and I. But look at the 306 recommendations. It's very powerful. I can tell you that my close rate is strong, very strong. But I want to make sure that you're right, and I'm going to give you this. It's my 8 buckets challenge. And I just want you to think about, when you look at the 8 priorities of life, faith or spirituality, family, friends, fun, fitness, finances, philanthropy, and career, where do your priorities lie? We just had that conversation about setting boundaries. And I think it was one of y'all's pet peeves was folks texting me, prospects texting me at 9 p.m. when I'm in bed, when that's my family time. Can anyone relate? When you know and you're crystal clear about your priorities, woo, it is powerful. So I just want you to think about, as you look at these buckets, what's number 1 for you? Number 2, all the way down to number 8. I asked you to do an audit earlier. Do an audit. How are you doing in each of these buckets? Now, I don't want you to stop there. It's great to know what your priorities are. It's great to know how you stack up right now on a scale 1 to 10. But ultimately, my challenge is for you to take action around one of your top 3 priorities, taking you to that next level. My daughter is 10 years old, used to go to gymnastics. The gymnasts are on the first floor, the parents are on the second floor. My daughter would look up at me, and I was looking down, but not at her. I worked with my coach. I thought that I was an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. I asked my daughter, she said, "Daddy, I love you. You're a 5. Now, we talked about what's on your home screen. There's a reason why my daughter, giving me the evil eye, is on my home screen. We talked about the power of presence. This phone right here doesn't have anything to do with my relationship with my daughter. Now, my coach said, "Larry, why don't you break the brain and get creative?" I said, "I'm not creative." She said, "Larry, be careful of the words that come out of your mouth." I actually am creative. I said, wow, I have this smartphone. And just to be honest with y'all, I ended up trying to leave my phone in my car. I couldn't do it. I was going through withdrawals. I was trying to see if I was missing any messages on my Apple Watch. I said, hey, let me just go ahead and I'll pop in my earbuds, listen to some tunes, listen to podcasts, and make sure that when my daughter looks up at me, I'm looking down at her, giving her 2 thumbs up. My coach said, you can do better. So what I started doing is I started videotaping my daughter like she was at the Olympics. And I started doing what I do best, and that's commentating. I thought I was Snoop Dogg at the Paris Olympics. And then on our drive home, I would say, Lucia, is this you? What do you think of it? Now, do you think that I went from a 5 to an 8 in my daughter's eyes? Not a chance. Y'all haven't met my daughter. She said, Daddy, you're a 6. I said, hey, we're making progress. But essentially, the big takeaway here is you've got to take action. These are things that we all know. I know I shouldn't be on my phone when I'm there in the presence of my daughter. If I'm all in as a father, I need to be doing that. If you're all in as a business professional, a sales professional, you need to do those things that require you, that require you to have success. My last question for you is, what action will you take right now? I can't answer that. That's up to y'all. If you know better, you do better. I certainly encourage you. I appreciate your time. And I think we have time for 2 questions. 2 questions. Yes.
Microphone or okay?
I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it.
I can't stand up, but. So I use LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Video messaged me. Like in content of like looking at LinkedIn to help those in the room that don't currently use it. Like what steps would they take to start engaging in content that would benefit them? Because that's a hard one, I think, for a lot of people of thinking it's like Facebook. Is it like Instagram? How much do I share? Where do those cross over?
Yeah, I love it. That's a great question. I would say go with where you're comfortable. Take a look at my profile. I share a lot. And that's just me. I'm authentic. I'm vulnerable. A lot of times on social media, you see the best of people. I share my best, but I also share my worst. We all go through challenges. So I would say to get started right now, make sure that your profile is inviting. You at least have a picture with a smile on your face. You can leverage the banner. That's primetime real estate right there. Does your banner convey what you do, who you do it for, and what separates you from other people? There's so much opportunity there. And then the first step I would take is to comment on other people in your industry thoughtfully. Not just great posts, but add your 2 cents, your thought leadership, so that people can now see you as a source of information. Wow, I never realized that Deb had so much knowledge. Thank you for sharing, Deb. It's amazing that when you put it out there in the universe, it connects with the people that it needs to connect with. So that would be my step one. And then if you're feeling bold, you're feeling brave, go ahead and put your own thought leadership out there. See what happens. You might only get 2 reactions. That's what happened when I first started, but the consistency. I mean, right now I'm getting thousands of impressions, and essentially people in my industry, no one needs a speaker until they need a speaker. And what happens is they meet at the table and they say, we need a speaker that can bring some energy. Hold up, there's that black guy with the gold mic and the pink mic. Is his name LL Cool Jr.? No, LLJ. Larry Long Jr. That's how the conversation goes down. I built my brand where I'm the energy guy. What's your brand? How do people know you? How do they like you? How do they trust you? How do they believe in you? LinkedIn, woo, it can certainly be. It's powerful for me. I would trust and believe that it could be powerful for you. I think we have time for one more question. One more question for your specific business. What's up? What you got?
So let's say hypothetically you were in the corporate world.
Yes.
Had a LinkedIn in the corporate world. Or in this case, let's say you work for, I'm using an example like Epic, who is a bigger business and people work under it. On Instagram, they always say, like, if you start a new niche, like, start a new Instagram. And LinkedIn is it the same. So 10 to 15 years I was in the nursing world and have a corporate LinkedIn. Do I start over, or do I now transition that into the photography, education, speaker world? Like, do you have to start over?
No,
Can you transition
I would not start over. I would change my banner with a big old camera so people know. I would have my profile pic of me snapping pics, your true personality. I would leverage the real estate underneath your name that says photography, wedding photography, and then something that separates you from every other person that says wedding photography. What's your differentiator? What do people who work with you, what do they say separates you from the rest? I would really highlight that. I don't know if anyone uses ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT. I take my recommendations and I say, hey, what are the themes of my recommendations? There's no mystery there. Energy, smiles, cares, loud, boisterous. I mean, it's essentially who I am. That's what people like me for. So that's what I try to highlight in my LinkedIn. I would not recommend starting over. If everyone can pull out your phone and scan the QR code, feedback is a gift. My ask is that you provide honest feedback. What went well with this presentation? What are those opportunity areas? We talked about it earlier. I think we called it weaknesses. I'm very careful with my words. I think that it's opportunity areas for us all to get better. If you're open to sharing that, I would certainly appreciate it. And if there's ever anything that I can do to serve or support you, please connect with me there. The link will be there on how you can connect with me. I put together a video. I filmed it at my hotel earlier, so you'll get a little goodie when you fill this out. It'll be a little video message to each and every one of y'all. I appreciate you. I wish you all the best and continued success. Thank you, WIPA.